What's going on, everybody? So the headache is gone for now. Got the car back together. I did it in record time. I pulled the transmission, I replaced the slave cylinder, got it all back together, driving in two and a half days. It would have been 2 days, but I did take a couple of hours to just like remove the charge pipes and remove some oil that was puddled up in the bottom of the intercooler. That's from the exhaust valve seal that's leaking. It was leaking pretty bad. And whether it's sitting or driving, it doesn't really matter. I don't think. It just kind of has some oil that accumulates, and it eventually ends up in the bottom of the side mount. And then from there, I just went ahead and cleaned it all out. Uh-oh, here we go, race car. Ready? Yuck. Oh man, these fucking kids. Sorry if this offends you, but the whole Snap Crackle Pop Rice Krispie treat shit is fucking stupid. Anyway, you know, it's okay if it happens naturally from your car actually having a lot of performance with it and it's just fucking wide open exhaust and making good power and you let off and it makes a bunch of noise. Fine, I get it. But if you're in a 180 wheel horsepower Mini Cooper and you're fucking making gunshot sounds all over town, you're a fucking dumbass. I said it. I love you anyway. We're all car enthusiasts, right? So where was I? Yeah, I'm getting annihilated by bugs out here, by the way. So if I keep touching my ears, it's not because I'm fiending for crack or methamphetamine. It's because it's Florida. It's August 2nd. Jesus. Literally the sun's going down and it's 97 degrees out still. And super humid, and I fucking can't stand it. I am a completely different person when it's fall and winter. Not to be off topic, but seriously, I hate to sound like an old man talking about weather, but fuck, like when it's cool outside, it is so nice here. Fall, winter, you know, like December, like even Halloween's hot as hell, but like December, January, February, it's so nice. But yeah, so got the car together like record time. Like I've pulled transmissions on these things so many times now, it's kind of embarrassing. Between my Jetta and the Rabbit, I probably pulled transmissions like 9 times on these cars. By the way, I chose like the worst place to film this. Wanted to be away from traffic and stuff, but not only am I getting eaten alive by these gnats, there's also planes flying over constantly. This is like the 8th time I tried to record this like 1-minute little commentary. And there's also like this old couple riding their bikes by me and they just like ride by slow and I'm just kind of hanging out like, yeah. I don't know, I'm kind of one of those people, like I'll make a video, but I don't like making video in front of people because I think it's weird that I find a way to talk to a camera. There's nobody here. There's nobody watching, you know, in front of me. But anyway, so try to get this out of the way. Update, car's driving. It's actually right over here. And drives perfectly well. Like I'm very happy with how it turned out. Like I was saying, it took me two and a half days to get it all done. Coming home after work and just knocking it out. Still not fun. I hate doing it. Yeah, but it's over with, so it's driving perfectly well. Didn't have to take the clutch off or anything, so it was just dropping the tranny, even though it's way more complicated than just dropping it. Replacing the slave, removing the shim, retorquing everything. So it's all good now. And of course, the one thing I was not looking forward to was bleeding the clutch because I always seem to have trouble with that, you know. So I reached out to Neil Campos. If you don't know who he is, he's got a YouTube channel as well. And I subbed to him, so you might be able to find it through my subscriptions. But he has an 07K swapped Exoset, and it's like basically done. So I can't wait to see that thing driving around with some boost. And you know, he always works with him by himself, and I do too, but sometimes I have help. You know, when I was swapping transmissions at the Volkswagen dealer, I usually had someone there helping me, pushing the clutch pedal down and whatnot. So I asked him, like, when you're by yourself, what's the most effective way you bleed the clutch so you're not sitting there pumping it for an hour? Because last time it took me like an hour to bleed the damn thing. So, and they were both 6 speeds. So what he said was basically what he does is he cracks open the bleeder valve or you know bleeder block for the transmission by the slave down here. I'm gonna see if I can get you to see it actually. So you crack open the bleeder and you open the reservoir and you top off the brake fluid and you let it gravity feed. But while you're doing that, you push the clutch in a couple times, 5-10 times, whatever, and then it's gonna push some fluid through and you'll see it spraying out of the bleeder, of course. So once you see that, top off the fluid again, making sure it's full, let it gravity bleed some more, and then you're gonna shut the bleeder and you can top off the reservoir, or just, I would leave it open, I think. But yeah, you basically start pushing in the clutch then so you can get a little bit of pressure, and you're gonna crack open the bleeder just a little bit, just a little, to let some air out, and then close it again. You'll make sure that the reservoir is full, cap it off, and then from there bleed it as normal. Push in the clutch like 10 to 15 times somewhat quickly and let it build up a little bit of pressure. Open the bleeder just a little bit, just let some air escape, and do that a few times and then you'll be solid. It didn't take me any time at all. I did it completely by myself. I did it to where I was basically pushing the clutch down 10 or 15 times and letting it up all the way and bleeding out some of the air. I do think it would be best if at least the last couple times you did it pushing the clutch to the floor. But remember to bleed the clutch, or to bleed to open the bleeder just a little bit, just a tiny bit. Because with the clutch to the floor, you're gonna be pushing out more pressure, and you don't want to just throw out a bunch of fluid. So yeah, I got it bled pretty quickly and was driving it around, and it drives perfect. Clutch engagement feels perfect. I just threw the Diesel Geek Sigma 6 back on there. I didn't mess with the end link, so I didn't have to readjust anything, and it's good. So the only thing I did besides the necessary, was I did take the charge pipes off. One charge pipe had a bend in it around where the coupler goes on, and I don't know how that ever happened, but I straightened that out. And I took the side mount intercooler off, which is this little guy right here. This guy is a real piece of work when you're living in Central Florida. This thing builds up heat so quickly that the side mount intercooler is pretty much not very effective, more than 1 or 2 pulls. But I took it out. Since this engine has a leaking exhaust valve seal, there's been a lot of oil in the intake. I'm pretty sure the turbo is still in good health. When I had everything apart to get the manifold ceramic coated and put new hardware on and everything, even though it still makes its way through, the turbo did not seem like it had a bunch of oil in it. It looked like it was pretty dry, but the oil does make its way into the intake system anyway. So I don't know, maybe the turbo is going bad. It still performs well, so I'm just gonna hope for the best. But I took the intercooler and most of the charge pipes off and cleaned them out, straighten them up, make them at least fit better. And the side mount did have some oil in the bottom. I would say a little puddle like that. Not a lot, but enough to make me kind of go crazy. So I cleaned it out. I let it drain while I was working on the car, and then I took it inside actually and filled it up with some hot soapy water. And I swished it around by hand a whole bunch, and I ran hot water through it for probably like 5 minutes, and it was really clean after that. So and then I drained it all out and I let it dry in the sunlight on the next day when I was working on it. So yeah, 2.5 days, start to finish on jack stands in my parking lot, and I'm happy with that, because last time it took a while, but I was also saving up money for new clutch parts and all the expensive ass new hardware and everything. So we're back on the road and back in business. So now, I know in my last video I was talking about selling the car. I was debating on it very seriously actually, because at my age, 34-year-old with a 9-year-old daughter, and having an important job and all these other things in life, that you basically having an unreliable car is the worst thing on earth. And I went through that with the Mark IV that I had. I bought it to be my daily driver. Like, obviously it's not smart. If you want a reliable daily driver, you get something that's newer, like a little Honda Accord or whatever. But basically I got the Mark IV really cheap, and I was familiar with Volkswagen, so I thought, why not? That car gave me so many problems in the 9 months that I had it. It was just ridiculous. Long list of shit that I fixed on it. I'm not going to go through it now. But ultimately I did a timing and water pump on it, or had someone do it rather, and it ended up failing in 5,000 miles anyway. So this Turbo Rabbit is my daily. and it's probably not the best thing in the world to have it as a daily, but I'm hoping now that it's going to be pretty solid for me. We all know that 2.5 engine is very reliable. I maintain the shit out of it, and boost does not make it any less reliable as far as the engine goes. As long as all your, charge pipes and intake pipes are on there tightly, as long as your mass airflow sensor's in good shape, map sensor's in good shape, it's safe to say you're not going to have any problems with it. The unreliability usually comes with the transmission. So automatic, we all know about that, especially with boost, it's not even a question. 5-speed, we all know about that. General consensus in the entire community, we all know that the 5-speed does not last very long. And so is 6-speed. They're typically not going to break unless you're putting down like 450 foot-pounds of torque with some sticky tires. So I'm just hoping the slave cylinder is going to be good now for years to come, because I can't do that anymore. I can't be, without a car and swapping a transmission out in my driveway. So I do still need to get a daily, so we'll see what happens there. I don't really want to get into a car payment, but I kind of do want to get something new or pre-owned. But I'm just so picky with cars. Like, either I'm gonna get something really fucking boring and hate it, like a brand new Honda Civic, like lease it or something, or I want to get like a Chevy Tahoe or something real comfortable. But we'll see. For now, this is it. Be back on the road, driving great. And I gotta track down this book. Well, I know this one boost leak I found. Actually, there's probably more than one, but I found a boost leak in one of the lower charge pipes. Basically right in the middle of the coupler, there's a little tear in there. It's very obvious. If I tried real hard, I could probably stick my pinky through it. So I tried to kind of slide the T-bolt clamp over it and tighten it down, but it's just a band-aid. So I got to get that replaced and see if there's any other leaks. And then when there's no boost leaks, it'll be running great. And next project will be getting it tuned still, instead of using this ancient 2009 C2 Motorsports software. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end the video there. I'm gonna get out of here before I keep getting destroyed by these bugs. And yeah, so thanks for watching. I'm gonna try to continue to grow the channel as much as I can for being as busy as I am. Obviously I'm not a full-time YouTuber, but I do want to grow it a little bit more. I finally was able to get it monetized on the partnership program. It's not a really big deal, obviously. I always kind of joke about, like, if I'm lucky, I'll make like $1 per year. So we'll see. For now, let's go for a drive. Let's see if we can switch this thing around. And yes, I still have not replaced the actuator over there for the fresh air vent. Would be nice to have a little phone mount here. All right. Up a little bit there. That's from the boost leak. I gotta find that. It's no fun when you can't accelerate. Anyway, see you guys later. Thanks for watching.